morning, CRCOG. My name is Becky Seeger. This morning we are in the book of James, chapter 1, verses 2 through 8. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. But let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all liberally and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith with no doubting, for he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. I want to share a personal story. Back in 2016 is when I first started attending church here, and God was really dealing with me. One morning I was up and I was in my devotional time. The Bible teaches that the Bible is living. And this particular morning I was up and I was in Deuteronomy 28. And the words literally jumped off the page and they applied to me. It was a promise given to Becky. You are blessed going in and out. You are the head and not the tail. You are on top and not the bottom. You will lend to many nations and borrow from none. Now, let's fast forward to 2021. Life happens. You're up, you're down, you're in the valley. You think you've made it, you realize you haven't. 2021 hits, and I'm in my devotional time again, and I'm actually brought back to Deuteronomy 28. And I'm sitting there that morning, and I'm reading, and I felt the Holy Spirit drop the words, "Do you believe?" And I thought for a minute, and I heard it again. Do you believe that this promise is for you? And actually what had happened is I spoke the words out loud. I believe that this promise is for me. And what happened is there was a shift in the atmosphere. I went from hoping. Back in 2016, I hoped that this promise applied to me and to my life. But in 2021, I believed. That's what all of this is. So I walked through the house this morning preparing for this devotion, and this is decor throughout my house. Believe became my word. And it's a reminder to me. It's a reminder that God gave me a promise and I believe in him. I stand in him. I no longer am like verse 6 where it says, he who doubts is like a wave of the sea driven and tossed by the wind. That's no longer me with Deuteronomy 28. I know that God gave me a promise and I stand in it. I encourage you to believe. I heard a quote last week. This quote was, discouragement is not your enemy. Doubt is your enemy. We are all going to have trials. Every one of us are going to have trials no matter what it is. When you're in those trials and you begin to get discouraged, that's okay. But do not doubt. If God's given you a word, I dare you to believe and trust that that word is going to come through. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but in God's time, that promise is going to come through. Ladies, if you would like to go a little bit deeper in James, we started James 1 last week. Sunday mornings after the 8:30 service, I teach Sunday school in Portable 3, and I would love to have you join us. Thank you.